Okay, so now that we entered everything, the only thing left to do is run the estimates and look at the reports. So for this video, I'm gonna show you what you can do with the preliminary estimates, um, which is in the next window. So once we've got everything entered, just hit the report button and let it do its thing. Okay, um, so what the program has done is given us estimates for pro forms, knockdown forms, um, any miscellaneous items, in this case the RV panels and end caps, rebar, straight, corner, and stirrups, concrete, bucks, waterproofing, form lock, bracing, zip ties, custom items, which we'll cover in another video, labor, taxes, and that's it. So as you can see, it can get pretty detailed. The estimates are pretty detailed, and we call it preliminary estimates because you can fine tune the estimates if you want before you print out your final reports, for example. So anything in blue font, you can go ahead and change. Um, so if I go ahead and say my 4-inch interior wall, I want to change that to Pro TX, which is our um, uh, uh, termite resistant ICF form. And say I want to change the quantity to 999, just so it's more apparent. And let's say we want to change the unit price to 1,000. So as you can see, it updates the total automatically for you. And anything you save or run in the that you change in the blue font is automatically saved. So the next time you run this report, um, it's going to show up with $1,000 for unit price, 999 for your quantity for the specific item. So if I exit out of here and run the report again, you'll notice it says it's loading most recent estimate. So it's basically loading the last estimate that we had. So as you can see, the Proform or the basement 4-inch interior, we still have our quantity at 999, unit price at 1,000. If we went into the report, that would also be reflected in the report. So for this case, let's just run the wall sections and go down to looking for the 4-inch. Here it is. So as you can see, it shows up as quantity 999, 1,000 unit price, which is what we entered. If we go back into our view results and change that to say 5,000, that will automatically be reflected in our report. So we'll go back in the report and go down to the section 4-inch interior wall, and as you can see, the unit price changed, so did the total. So it automatically gets updated. If you wanted to use the original values based on the numbers or the information you entered in for that wall section, all you do is hit the refresh calcs and it'll run the estimates based on what you actually entered instead of what you entered in the preliminary report. So here it is, 4-inch. It was originally a pro form that we entered, and the unit price is back to 1. So whenever you hit the refresh calcs button, it'll calculate your estimates based exactly on what you entered in your result or in the section details. So that's one way of working with the estimates in terms of changing data. Sometimes you'll get a lot of information in your proforms if you got a lot of, or any of your estimates, if you got a lot of building names and wall sections, it'll be hard to track where your estimates are coming from. So what you can do to view it better and organize it better is at the top here there's a bar, and if you drag a column heading in there, it'll group it by that column heading. So I'm grouping it by building name. So now all my estimates are grouped into building name. If I still have a lot of wall sections though, I can grab that wall section and group it by wall section as well. So now it's grouped into building parts, building name, and wall sections. So now I can see my estimates for the 4-inch interior, 6¼ inch course, etc. So it just makes it a lot easier to read. You know where your estimates are coming from, and it also tallies the total up for you here as well. So that's another way of viewing it. At the top here, it will give you your subtotal, including this price per square foot. So if you want to know what the total value is here, it will tell you at the top here. There's also a slide out panel here under cost summary. If you go to Proforms, it'll tell you what the total is as well. So that's basically what you can do for each of these preliminary tables. I find it particularly useful under rebar if you're going to be including that in your report. You could see that the rebar is pretty detailed. It tells you exactly where it's coming from. First floor, second floor. It gives you notes on what spacing is based on the estimate. So I can group this into building name, and then I'll group it again to wall section, and now I know where everything's coming from. So my wall reinforcement for the 4-inch, 6¼ inch. Also, I've got, it'll give me the corner reinforcement. We don't have it for the 4-inch because there is no corner. And for the 8-inch. So as you can see, it's grouping everything up. I could go ahead and group it even further by location, because as you can see, there's lintel locations and openings. So if I wanted to, I could group it by locations as well. And now I know what all my lintels are just by clicking on it, what my brick ledge is going to be, my corners, etc. And again, subtotal is at the top here, or through the cost summary tab. You could view it right here. Okay, so that's it for how you work with the tables and manipulate the estimates. Next video, we're going to go through how we work with unit prices and loading and saving unit prices.